To all members of the Canadian Armed Forces and the wider defense team, bonjour, kwe. I acknowledge that I'm speaking to you from the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people, who have been stewards of these lands for millennia. And I recognize that their culture and presence have nurtured and continue to nurture this territory to this day. I was asked to continue to serve as Chief of the Defense Staff, and I have agreed to do so. I take on this substantive role with my eyes wide open, knowing the rough road that lies ahead and the challenges that come with this position, particularly as we work to reconcile with troubling elements of the CAF's past and present in order to build a better institution, all in the face of a deteriorating global security environment. Il n'y aura pas de cérémonie. Étant donné les circonstances, nous n'en avons pas besoin. Nous devons plutôt nous concentrer sur le travail important qui nous attend tous. Cette nomination ne change rien à mon approche. Still, I want to take a moment to connect with you and to reaffirm my commitment to you, the incredible people who put the uniform on every day, and the many outstanding public servants who are part of the broader defense team family. I am truly inspired by your selfless service to Canadians at home and around the world. The world is more dangerous today than it has been at any other time since the Cold War. Nous continuons de faire face à un certain nombre de menaces et de défis, tant à l'étranger qu'au pays. Et tant internes qu'externes, il y a ceux et celles qui cherchent à faire du mal à notre pays et à endommager nos institutions et leur efficacité. The Canadian Armed Forces will continue to work with our allies and trusted international partners to counter aggression and destabilizing forces around the world, in Central and Eastern Europe, in the Indo-Pacific region, and in our own continental waters. Global crises, like the situation that unfolded in Afghanistan last summer, will continue to demand our attention. We must be ready. Here at home, challenges such as climate change are altering the way we prepare for and conduct operations, and the type of operations we carry out. Hundreds of you now are supporting emergency flood relief efforts in British Columbia. At the end of a busy year in which many of you were deployed to help fight wildfires in BC and Manitoba, to support forest fire evacuations in remote communities in Ontario, and to mitigate flooding in Yukon. And all of this work has been done in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, which we all know has not been kind to the CAF. Nous avons tous ressenti l'impact négatif de la pandémie sur nos vies personnelles et notre état de préparation opérationnelle. At the same time, we continue to grapple with the crisis of confidence in leadership emerging from a failure to evolve our internal culture. This culture change is, along with continuing to deliver operationally, while rebuilding our readiness and modernizing the CAF, the core of our reconstitution efforts that will drive our priorities going forward. There are positive aspects of our culture. The desire for one to be part of something bigger. The willingness to put oneself into harm's way to protect others. And the selflessness of putting aside one's own needs for the good of the country. All of these we must retain and indeed celebrate. It is the exclusionary aspects inherent in parts of our culture that we are addressing to ensure current and future members are safe, valued, and able to focus on their most important task, protecting Canada and Canadians. Il nous faut pouvoir maintenir en poste et attirer des personnes de talent provenant de toutes les sphères de la société canadienne. Les Canadiens et les Canadiennes doivent se reconnaître dans leurs forces armées. Notre avenir en dépend. At the heart of everything we do is our people. You are key to our operational effectiveness. And if we are to succeed as an organization, to be the military Canada needs and deserves, every member of the Canadian Armed Forces and broader defense team must feel welcomed, supported, empowered, and inspired to bring their very best to the table each and every day. I acknowledge that for many of you, this has not been your experience. I recognize that our failure to adequately address misconduct within the CAF has resulted in significant harm to survivors and eroded trust in the chain of command. I also recognize the demoralizing effect this is having on people at all levels of our organization. We can, must, and will do better. My promise to you is this: On my watch, we will approach this transformation of our culture with openness, humility, compassion, and a determination to learn and improve. We must seek to improve our institution every day. C'est notre défi. C'est notre chance pour assurer un avenir meilleur et plus prometteur. Il y aura des erreurs et des faux pas en cours de route. C'est inévitable lorsqu'on apporte des changements, mais il est impératif d'aller de l'avant. Le statu quo n'est pas une option. We all have a role to play, and we all must ensure our professional conduct aligns with the CAF's core values and principles. First and foremost, respect for the worth and dignity of every individual. Those who choose not to, those who will not uphold these values and principles, have no place in our armed forces. I am deeply thankful to everyone who is working to effect real change, who offer their time, who continue to engage, and who have pushed for this change by helping us understand their diverse perspectives and lived experiences. The last 9 months have been difficult. They have been fraught with unrelenting operational demands, uncertainty, and crisis, making them some of the most challenging days of my career. I have struggled to find balance, and there have been missteps as I've pushed myself to listen, learn, and consult broadly, all before acting, but sure of one thing above all else, that I don't have all the answers. Mais ensemble, nous changerons la direction prise par cette institution. Nous n'atteindrons pas la fin de ce voyage pendant mon mandat, mais nous avons pris le premier pas, et nous continuerons d'aller de l'avant. A life of service can be immensely rewarding, but it is never easy. Never easy on those of us who wear the uniform and those who support us at home. Our loved ones, families, and families of choice know, feel, and experience the stress that service to Canada can create. Many of you have spoken to me about the challenges of affordable housing for you and your families, stress compounded by rising costs of living, and our operational tempo. I know my own family has felt the stress and worry that comes with service, and I know they often wondered if I would return from deployments, and if so, if I would return whole and healthy. To my own family, it is clear that my taking on this role adds to the burden you have borne over the years. But this is one more mission for us, and likely my final one. I thank you for your love and your own service to our country behind the scenes. Et aux personnes exceptionnelles des Forces armées canadiennes et de l'équipe de la Défense au sens large, le Canada a besoin de vous maintenant, plus que jamais. As we confront these challenges, we must rise above the toxicity of our times and remember why we serve. We must always be there for Canada and Canadians. As we challenge ourselves, as we struggle, learn, and grow, I ask each of you to continue to do what so many of you do each and every day. Take care of yourselves and continue to look out for one another. Continue to carry out your duties to the very best of your abilities. Continue to defend Canada and Canadians. And continue to take well-deserved pride in your service. These will be sources of stability in times of great change. You are amongst the very best sailors, soldiers, aviators, and public servants in the world. Servez avec éthique, moralité et professionnalisme. Servez avec humilité, avec un cœur et un esprit ouvert. Serving alongside you, including now, as your Chief of Defense Staff, is one of the greatest honors of my life. For this and for everything else you and your family sacrifice to keep the CAF strong and our country safe, you have my enduring gratitude. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.